There is a silent prison that many of us live inside, though the walls are invisible and the guards cannot be seen. It is a prison constructed from the opinions of others, a fortress built slowly year by year through glances, words, expectations, and silent judgments. Most people never notice the weight they are carrying until something snaps, and they are left wondering why life feels so heavy, why decisions feel so complicated, why joy feels so fleeting. At the heart of it lies a truth so simple it almost sounds foolish. We care too much about what other people think, and it costs us dearly. It costs us our peace, our creativity, our authenticity, and sometimes it even costs us our dreams. Yet beyond the gates of that invisible prison lies a vast open field, a place where the air tastes sweeter and life feels lighter. A place where your soul can stretch its limbs without fear, where your heart can sing without rehearsing the notes. This is the beautiful freedom of not caring what others think. It is not the arrogance of disregarding humanity, nor the coldness of selfishness. It is the quiet, powerful realization that your life is yours, that your soul has its own sacred path to walk, that your worth is not up for debate. This is a journey back to yourself, a journey toward a life lived boldly, unapologetically, and joyfully. And it begins by letting go. Why we care so much. Evolutionary roots of social belonging. Humans are social creatures. Our ancestors survived because they belonged to tribes. To be cast out was to be vulnerable, exposed, and almost certainly doomed. In those early days, acceptance wasn't a luxury, it was a necessity for survival. Our brains are wired for connection. The need to be liked, respected, and approved of is stitched into our biology. It's an ancient code running in the background, quietly influencing our behaviors, our choices, and our fears. To care what others think was, once upon a time, a matter of life and death. But we no longer live in tribal villages hunted by wild animals. Still, the wiring remains. Childhood conditioning. Praise and punishment. From the moment we are born, we begin absorbing the subtle messages around us. A smile when we behave well, a frown when we step out of line. Children are incredibly attuned to the emotional reactions of their caregivers. Approval becomes associated with love, safety, and worth. Disapproval becomes associated with fear, rejection, and shame. Without even realizing it, we internalize a blueprint. If I make others happy, I am safe. If I disappoint them, I am in danger. These early lessons are deep, and unless consciously examined, they steer our adult lives from the shadows. Modern culture. And the amplification of judgment in the modern era, the need for approval has been weaponized by technology. Social media platforms with their likes, shares, comments, and viral trends have transformed human validation into a quantifiable currency. Approval is no longer just a feeling, it's a number, a public scoreboard. We live under a constant gaze, real or imagined. The fear of judgment has never been more amplified. One wrong word, one unpopular opinion, one imperfect photo can unleash a tidal wave of criticism. It's no wonder so many people live cautiously, curating their lives into something palatable, popular, and painfully inauthentic. How caring becomes an addiction. Like any form of external validation, caring what others think offers a short-term reward. A compliment feels good. A nod of approval boosts our mood. A viral post gives a hit of dopamine. But chasing approval is a treadmill with no finish line. You run faster, perform harder, edit yourself more carefully, and still it is never enough. There is always someone who disapproves, always another audience to please. In time, the addiction erodes the soul. It hollows out our authenticity, replacing it with an endless performance. True freedom only comes when we step off the treadmill entirely. The high cost of living for others' mental health toll, anxiety, depression, burnout. When your life becomes a series of performances for invisible judges, anxiety is inevitable. Every choice becomes a calculation. Will they approve? Will I be criticized? Living under the constant pressure of others' expectations can erode mental health. Anxiety blooms from the fear of failure. Depression creeps in when your true self is buried under layers of masks. Burnout follows when the exhaustion of maintaining appearances becomes too much. The mind is not designed to endure endless scrutiny without breaking. Creativity crushed by conformity. Genuine creativity is an act of bravery. It requires stepping into the unknown, expressing something raw and real. But if you care too much about how your work will be received, you will never venture into the wild edges where true creativity lives. You will color within the lines. You will imitate rather than innovate. Artists, writers, musicians, thinkers, they all risk rejection. The ones who matter most are the ones who dared to create anyway. The loss of authentic relationships. When you mold yourself to fit others' expectations, you attract relationships built not on authenticity, but on performance. You find yourself surrounded by people who love the mask you wear, not the face underneath. They love your compliance, not your courage. They love your image, not your reality. True relationships, the ones that nurture the soul, can only be formed when you dare to show up as you truly are. The exhausting cycle of performance. There is no finish line when you live for others. No amount of praise is enough. Today you win approval, tomorrow you must win it again. One mistake can erase years of effort in the public eye. The cycle is relentless, and the soul knows it. Deep down, there is a voice whispering, there must be more to life than this. And there is. Recognizing the chains how to spot when you're living for others. Not everyone who lives for others knows they are doing it. Some signs: overthinking every decision, constantly replaying conversations, worrying how you sounded, delaying your dreams out of fear of judgment, feeling exhausted after social interactions, difficulty saying no even when you want to. These are not merely personality traits. They are symptoms of a deeper bondage, subtle signs, hesitation, overthinking, indecision. When your inner compass has been hijacked by external voices, decision-making becomes agonizing. Every step is second-guessed. Every choice is burdened by imagined criticisms. Your intuition grows faint from disuse. Learning to recognize this pattern is the first step toward liberation. How societal rules become invisible. Prison society offers many rules about how a good life should look. Success means wealth and status. Beauty means thinness and youth. Happiness means approval and applause. These rules are invisible, yet they shape behavior powerfully. When you question them, you begin to see the prison walls clearly, and once seen, they can be dismantled. Building your own freedom, reclaiming your inner authority. Freedom begins when you reclaim your right to decide who you are and what you value. This is not an act of rebellion against others. It is an act of loyalty to yourself. Ask yourself, what do I truly believe? What do I truly want? What feels right to me even if no one approves? Your inner authority is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. The importance of values. Over validation, values are the internal compass that points you toward a meaningful life. When you live according to your values, honesty, compassion, creativity, courage, you build a life that feels good from the inside, regardless of outside applause. Validation is fickle. Values are steadfast. How to detach without becoming callous. Some fear that if they stop caring about others' opinions, they will become selfish or cruel. But true detachment is not coldness, it is clarity. You can respect others without living for their approval. You can love deeply without betraying yourself. You can listen without surrendering your soul. Healthy detachment honors both yourself and others. Learning to disappoint others and survive it. Disappointing others is inevitable when you live authentically. You will make choices others don't understand. You will say no to expectations. You will walk paths they don't approve of. It will sting, but you will survive. And on the other side of that sting lies a profound liberation. Practical steps. Toward liberation, daily practices to strengthen self-trust. Morning check-ins. Before consulting the world, consult yourself. Evening reflections. Ask what you did today that was true to you. Mini risks. Take small steps outside the lines to build courage. Self-compassion. Speak to yourself with the kindness you crave from others. The power of solitude and reflection. Solitude is not loneliness. It is sacred space where you hear your own voice again. Regular periods of solitude, walks, journaling, silent mornings, help you reconnect with your deepest self. Without the noise of others' opinions, your true desires can rise to the surface. Setting healthy boundaries. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are doors that you choose when and how to open. Saying no is a complete sentence. Not explaining yourself is a form of self-respect. Protecting your peace is an act of generosity, because a thriving you is a gift to the world. Embracing the discomfort of being misunderstood. Being misunderstood is uncomfortable but survivable. Some people will misunderstand your choices, your dreams, your path. Let them. Your mission is not to make everyone understand. It is to walk your path with courage and grace. Stories of transformation, real-life examples of people who broke free. J.K. Rowling was rejected by multiple publishers before Harry Potter was accepted. She dared to keep going. Vincent van Gogh sold only one painting during his lifetime. He painted anyway. Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television. She redefined television. Greatness often walks hand in hand with early rejection. Lessons from philosophy, spirituality, and psychology. The Stoics taught that the opinions of others are outside our control and therefore not worth our worry. Buddhism reminds us that craving external approval is a form of suffering. Existentialism calls us to live authentically, even amid the absurdity of life. Across cultures and centuries, the wisest voices urge the same truth. Freedom is found within. How true icons embrace not caring. The figures we admire most, innovators, artists, leaders, were often ridiculed before they were revered. They did not wait for permission. They did not seek consensus. They dared to be misunderstood, and in doing so, they changed the world. The gifts of freedom, authentic self-expression. When you stop caring what others think, your voice becomes clearer, stronger, truer. You say what you mean. You create what you feel. You live aligned with who you are, not who the world expects you to be. Deeper, richer relationships. Authenticity invites authenticity. When you show up as your true self, you give others permission to do the same. Surface-level relationships fall away and deeper connections form. Love becomes richer. Friendships become truer. Greater creativity and innovation. Without the shackles of approval-seeking, your creativity soars. You try new things, you make bold moves, you take wild risks. Some will fail, some will astonish, all will be alive, unshakable peace. There is a profound peace that comes from knowing you are living your truth. It is not the peace of universal approval, it is the peace of inner alignment. It is a river that flows quietly within, steady and strong, no matter how the world rages around you. Conclusion: you were not born to live a second-hand life. You were not born to edit yourself into something more acceptable, more likable, more palatable. You were born to burn bright with the full fire of who you are, to live not against others but for yourself, to walk your own sacred path, knowing that your worth is not up for debate. To breathe the wild, sweet air of freedom, and that freedom begins the moment you decide, I will not care what they think. I will care what I think. I will care who I am. The beautiful life is not on the other side of perfection. It is on the other side of fear, and it is waiting for you.